Hi everyone, Teresa Aker here from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. It's my privilege today to bring you Maureen McLellan. How you doing, Maureen?
Great, thanks, Teresa.
I'm glad you're here. Maureen's a reverend, and I'm definitely going to read her bio and then we're going to ask her a bunch of questions. So just give me a second here, Maureen, and
Yeah,
I'll bring that up. And Reverend Maureen McLellan is an award-winning wedding officiant based in Durham region and the founder of I Marry You, a respected ceremony service known for weddings that are personal, modern, and truly memorable. Her approach blends intention, humor, and a deep understanding of human connection, making each ceremony feel authentic, impactful, and completely unique to the couple. Maureen, you've been doing this a long time.
I have. Yes, 2012.
So let's talk about how it got started. How did you get into this?
Isn't it funny how you just go through life and fall into certain things? I was attending a spiritualist church and worked my way up, started doing lectures in the church services. And one day I was just approached that, why don't you become ordained? Something I hadn't thought about. At the time, I owned a hair salon, so I had been hairdressing for my whole life. But you know what? I love, and it was just a natural thing for me to evolve into what I do now.
You know what? I've known you a long time, Maureen. You're so personable, so warm, so caring. And you got into a field that it makes total sense. It puts it together because I would think, and I've certainly been married, when you have a bride, it's her big day and her husband, of course, too. But really, the brides are the ones that are all excited and going down that special day. So they need someone who's calm and friendly and resonates with them. Does that make sense, Maureen?
Absolutely. I've been told so many times that I have that calming presence. And I always tell my couples, if you feel like you're going to lose it, you're breaking down, look at me. I'll make sure to keep you safe. That's why I do like to add a little bit of humor into the ceremonies because I often find that will bring the stress levels down for them too. A little giggle goes a long way.
Oh, I bet. I bet because you're all tense and worried and trying to make it the perfect day and stressed. I know there's a lot of stress to it. So you'd be perfect, Maureen. And I, as I said before, have known you for a very long time and you're that way all the time. So that's why I wanted to have you on the show so everyone can see that. And you're always smiling. You're always happy. You're always just such a positive person. And I'm thinking it's because since 2012, you've been doing something you love to do.
Absolutely. They always say that. I'll go into my office, turn around, and 8 hours have gone by. And it's just creating ceremonies. So it is true when you do what you love, it's not work.
It's not, is it? And so do you travel, Maureen, or you do just stay local?
I try in the busy season to stay in Durham region. I'll do also East GTA and South Kawartha. Of
Okay.
course, on off days or off season, you can get me to travel further. But if it's in Toronto, I have to love you.
I-
Going to
I'm
Toronto.
with you. Toronto's quite the trek from our end, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I agree, but nice people in Toronto.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Maureen, can you tell us a couple of weddings that you've done that have been really unique or special to you? Tell us something like that.
Oh, there's so many different and special. I in the Oshawa airport in the hangar.
Oh,
They
wow.
got the drapes out and we did the ceremony right in the hangar. It was extraordinary. I've never done anything quite like that before. I've also been taken with a tractor right up to a hill in the middle of a farmer's field with rain boots on in the bit and done it for them there. That was a place that the groom had proposed. So it was a very special place for them. And then I've done little things where a little addition can make the wedding extraordinary. Example I can give of that, I had a couple, big Batman fans. So at the end, instead of saying, I now pronounce you husband and wife, it's, I now pronounce you Batman and wife. And that one line just made the ceremony for them.
Well, that's fantastic.
It doesn't take a lot, it just takes the right thing.
If we could circle back, so you've
Yeah,
had a few interesting ones. What would make someone want to get married in a hangar? I'm sure everybody's thinking that's different. Was he a pilot or she a pilot?
I believe the father
Oh, the
or
father.
related, or he worked there, was somehow related to the bride that she had.
Oh,
something unique, something fun. It was a great ceremony. We were able to personalize it quite a bit for them. So their guests, family and friends, they loved it. They enjoyed it so much.
Oh, I love that. That's a neat idea. And then I'm thinking, of course, the farm, we know lots of people have gotten married at farms and it's beautiful settings out there too. And now Batman, I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I love that. I think people are so creative nowadays. Like when I got married, and I don't know when you did, but certainly when I did, it was very traditional and we had it in the church. And then we had this ceremony at a hall or something or at some venue that was quite different than what they're doing today. I give the young bride and grooms credit. Wow, it's a whole new world for them, isn't it?
It is. World is their oyster, definitely. There's choices that we didn't even know were possible.
I agree with that. We didn't have the same choices. And I think what's different today, Maureen, I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, my parents had a lot to do with my wedding, and so did his parents. And I'm thinking today it may not be the same. Our young people are a little more independent. Would that make sense?
Absolutely. And it's changing. I've noticed, especially since COVID, these big weddings, which would have been called 150, 200 people.
Right.
Now a big wedding is 70 to 80 people.
And that's a big one?
Yeah, so people are definitely scaling back now. I notice a lot of people are doing them in their homes, in their backyards, all different locations. Where when we got married, as you say, it was always in the church.
And it was always mucho grande.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it is what it is. That's what we did.
Yeah.
But I think they're smarter today than I certainly was. Why did we spend all that money on one day? I'm with you on that. Getting married at a cottage or at a house, backyard, there's nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful. You can make it absolutely beautiful. And the other thing I think is really when you come out of the wedding, after, of course, it's nice to have the big day, but
Mhm.
honestly, the pictures are the most important, I think after of course the ceremony you want to have the pictures and that's what the memories are and that or maybe have it videotaped.
Yeah.
So does it matter if it's a big venue? Really, you're looking at the pictures, right?
Absolutely. And I coach my couples for that specifically, letting them know these pictures are forever.
Yeah.
People will forget what I say during the ceremony, but you'll always have those pictures. So things like the ring shots, the first kiss picture, all those are extremely important.
And you are extremely important in the wedding, Maureen, because without you it doesn't happen.
It's an expensive party.
Exactly. Have that would help young people getting married or anyone getting married don't can be older too, of course. I actually know a couple that were in their 70s that got married and they
Yeah.
had a beautiful wedding. So give us some hints. What would ease some of the stress up that you can see?
Definitely choose your vendors wisely.
Okay.
Usually, if there's a problem, it will be an inexperienced DJ or photographers who didn't get the right pictures or all the pictures that you asked for. For people like me, officiants, make sure you have someone with experience that will lay out all your options for you and not just give you script A, script B, or script C. So I always say my biggest advice, make it your own. And if you don't know how to do that, rely on your vendors. So definitely pick your vendors carefully.
Very good advice. I like that because I think some people are nervous too to give speeches and what they should write or how they want everything to get laid out. There's people that are going to give speeches for the wedding, I would imagine.
Yep,
So then they may be a little nervous too. So it's good to go over that and get some help with that.
that's right. I also provide a service when a lot of couples nowadays are getting their friends or family members to officiate. So, of course, you need someone like me to make it legal. A lot of different ways to do that. Can be in my office. I don't need to be there. And then I can also write the full script for them and train them in the ways it's done, help them with the rehearsal. So you can also have that friend and family officiate for you and be extremely confident that you are getting a great ceremony.
What a great idea. See, this is thinking outside the box for weddings. What a great idea. And you're willing to help them do that. That's really good of you because that would be nice if you could have someone, a family member, to actually officiate it. And then you're doing the legal side. They don't have to worry about it. And how nice. Maybe a parent wants to do it or a brother or sister, whoever. And that's excellent. I would never have thought of that. See, that's why you're doing this.
Yeah. That's how I notice things are changing too. That's happening a lot more frequently.
Okay, now I wanted to ask you, and I just have to throw my glasses on here because I noticed I didn't do the whole bio because I wanted to ask you about one part of it. In 2025, Maureen has launched the Mary Mentors, a growing community of professional officiants and wedding vendors who value collaboration, connection, and celebrating one another's success. Maureen is passionate about building businesses with integrity and supporting women who are doing the same. Can you elaborate and stretch that out for us?
Definitely. Yes, I started the Mary Mentors this year. It had been a thought of mine probably for the last year and a half. I wanted to create a community. I often work with extremely amazing vendors. And of course, I know a lot of officiants that are in the field as well. So rather than us just being on an island, I wanted to create a community where we could pass leads back and forth, as well as support. So, for example, I have an officiant that's a little bit newer to the industry, and I'm there to support her with things she needs, forms, advice would be the most part. So it's basically a way for us all to get together, collaborate, and make sure if I'm referring someone to you that they are the best.
What a great idea to bring people together. Very supportive of you. And that again shines Maureen because you're always supportive of everybody. I always see you out there helping the community. So that's important too. But what a great idea. Bring everybody together, give them some support. And now you have an industry together that you're growing together.
We can all rely on each other, we
Yeah.
can celebrate each other's successes. So it's just nice to have that.
I like that. Now, I have a question for you. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself going, Maureen?
So I was been thinking about that recently because I do see the industry changing. It used to be that bridal shows were the way to go and everybody would go to bridal shows. That seems to be changing. The younger generation, they're more online.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where that takes me. I am very passionate about education and about teaching couples what their options are. So I can definitely see me leaning towards that pathway of education and guidance.
I like that because now you could take all your, I always call it a toolbox, all the experience we have over life. And now you get to pass on some of that wonderful knowledge that you've gotten over the years and your hints and pass it on to new up and coming officiants and people who are in the business that may not have thought of it. That's wonderful. I like that. So would that be a business you would think you would venture on your own?
Basically, it would just be things like this, doing podcasts, perhaps having Zoom meetings on vow writing techniques for couples. So, a lot of education for the couples as well, just to get them to think. I did create a ceremony blueprint, which I send to my couples, and that asks you all the questions you need to be asked to figure out what vibe you're looking for, which direction you want to take the ceremony. So, as I said before, a lot of these things are not available to couples as something they even know to ask. So, I preempted that, got in there, and made sure that I can get all those answers before I even sit down.
Excellent. I like that. Now, I have one more question.
Yes,
Would you come back and do another episode with us down the road?
absolutely. I've
Maureen, thank you. It's my pleasure to have you on today. As I said, I've known you a long time, but I know how wonderful you are with people. You're a gift to our community. And down the road, I'd like to maybe see where you're going and maybe we can have you back on the show to talk about your courses and what you're doing. So that would be wonderful.
I'd love that.
Thank you. So to everyone, this is Maureen McLellan. She is Reverend Maureen McLellan, who does weddings for you. It's I Marry You. So take a look at her. Do you happen to have a YouTube channel now, Maureen? I just wanted to ask you that before we go, or
I
you
do.
were thinking of it.
Yeah, there's only a few things on there right now, but I do have a YouTube channel.
Okay, and what would be the best place to reach you then?
Best place to reach me would you can email me at maureen@imarryu.ca. And of course, the U is the letter U. There's also contact forms on my website, imarryu.ca, or you can even give me a call, whatever is best for you.
Perfect. Thank you, Maureen. So I'll make sure we have all the good Reverend's information here To everyone, this is Maureen McLellan. She's there to help you get married, and any ideas you have, you can reach out to her at all of her sites. So go to her social media pages and where she just told you, and I'll make sure I have it in the show notes here so you'll be able to reach out to her directly. If for any reason you can't catch up to her, I'm happy to make sure that I get that message to her. For everyone else, this is Teresa Aker from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. Do subscribe to my channel. I truly appreciate that. I hope you're all having a great day, and I look forward to talking to you all soon. Bye-bye now.